Okay, guys, let's get stuck in. Hi, everyone. Okay, so if you're watching back on this, yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks coming up. Yeah, I'm sort of rejigging the structure of these lives as well. We're going to be trying doing it in sections. So maybe the first section we'll do, a couple of new tunes with the bouzouki and the whistle. And then we'll maybe look into more of a deep dive into how to do accompaniment figures on the bouzouki and, looking at Alan Murray's stuff and things like that. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more different, I suppose, and start off with more simplistic things and then get into the harder things later. So we'll build up. I suppose that's the way of thinking about it. So I'm just going to share my screen, guys, as usual. And there's going to be a couple of things I want to go through. Some of you here in my Facebook community know that I'm busy working on an app, which is kind of an app, but it's really a web app, to be honest. It's not going to be an app that's going to live on your phone. It's going to be something that you'll just be able to access through the internet. I was thinking about doing like an app that you can access through your phone, just a normal standard app. The problem with that is that it's going to be huge if that happens. You're going to have audio files that are just going to be dozens of audio files, and the whole app would be massive and be a bit, ungainly and a bit, prone to maybe crashing if there's lots of things that it has to do. So I thought the easiest thing to do then is to not give your phones a hard time and just have it connect to the internet. Okay, so there's going to be an app that I'm creating for you guys that will look something like this when it's done. Okay, so at the moment I've only got, I suppose, 6 jigs rhythms and 6 reel rhythms and 6 slip jig rhythms. I will be adding hornpipes, polkas, slides, and other things into this app over the summer. The keys that I have at the moment are D, G, A, E, B, and F sharp, and rhythm only. Just the bar on rhythm. And I've only got 2 different speeds. So I will have, maybe 4 or 5 different speeds. So at the moment, this is just a template that I work off of. Okay, and to say you wanted to learn just jig rhythms, you just select jig, and now all you have here are the jigs. And you want to do just jigs in G, so that's the only one. But there will be others, of course, when they put in different speeds. So at the moment, we've only got the jig at 120 beats per minute. So if I was to press play, hopefully this is going to be coming out for you guys. If I add Google, let me see. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. I shall add Google to our mix of apps here. Google Chrome. Okay, hopefully you guys will be able to hear this if I press play. Let me check the audio actually. Good opportunity. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear this if I press play. Yeah. Let me check the audio actually. Good opportunity. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay, that's actually coming out nice. Well, to me anyway, I can actually hear it. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be a practice tool. Now, in the tool, you will be able to select any jig or reel in hopefully any particular key and loads of different speeds. And it'll just be like a background, thing that you'll have that you can practice along with and, speed up or slow down depending on how fast or slow you want to practice. So yeah, at the moment it is quite limiting because it's only just the jigs and the reels, and I will be rolling this out for free for students who are in my Facebook group. So if you go over to Facebook and join the community over there, Top Score Music Academy community, yeah, you're going to get free access to this. It's not as if it's going to be an expensive thing anyway. It's going to be like a £5 one-off payment anyway. That's all. So it's just like comes to buying an app, I suppose. So it's not going to be a monthly subscription or anything anyway. And I might even put like a wee thing on it saying, if you want to donate or, you know, buy me a pint, you can. But for you guys who join the Facebook community, you're going to get early access to this. You're going to be my guinea pigs, and you'll be able to mess around with all this. So it's just, you know, something that we're working on. At the moment, it is a wee bit, what's the word? Restrictive. Okay, but we will get there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so what are we doing today? Well, Mountain Road, that's the one I want to do. And Made Behind the Bar and Father Kelly's. I'm going to bring up the session.org just to download those. I think I do have the Mountain Road already good to go. If I go into, let me see, tunes. ABC would do. Reels. What have we got here? Mountain Road. Oops. So that's one. We're going to do the Made Behind the Bar. That's another one. Thunder? My God, guys, I thought that was a truck. You guys won't be able to hear that, but my God, that was... I've got headphones on and I could hear that. On a wee sec. That was scary. That was really loud. It sounded like lightning just went off right next to the house. Okay. Anyway, we'll see if we can thunder on. God, that is loud. If the stream stops at any particular time, guys, it's because I've got a massive thunderstorm that's just opened up over the top of the house. Okay, there's lightning, there's thunder. It is torrential out there. So apologies if there's an abrupt change. It just means the power's gone. Okay, so sorry about that. Radio. So we have the Made Behind the Bar. We have the mountain top of the Mountain Road. Actually, I know that as let me see. Yeah, let's do the Mountain Road instead. Not the mountain top. Yeah. Yeah, the Mountain Road. Made Behind the Bar and Father Kelly's. I don't think I have Father Kelly's here, which is shocking. Let's remedy that. Let's get Father Kelly's. Yep. I know it in G though. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it this one. I know it in MIDI. That was quick. That's us done. The session.org. Now let's open them up. You score. And as usual, I'm going to record this on Pin Whistle first, and then come up with some accompaniment to it. You see, view, layout, probably style I'm looking for. Yeah, get rid of that at the beginning. Yeah, don't like the way that it emphasizes everything at the different velocities. I want the same thing. There we go. much nicer. Could probably speed that up a tad. At the moment, I would have that maybe something like minim equals 105 or something. I think that's the way I recorded it. Let me see, tempo. Get rid of that and put in minim equals 80 and then change it to 105. Oh, that's probably too quick though. That's about right, actually. Okay. Sort of a comfortable speed for me. Let's have. I play that as da da dum dum do 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 ba 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 da 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 dum. There we go. Don't need all this. Okay, get rid of all of that. Delete bars. And it's going to put in little repeats. I find it easier. I don't know about you guys, but you see, whenever you're playing, like, you know, a trad melody and you have 2Ds, that's nice on the uilleann pipes, but you see, whenever I'm doing like on a whistle or flute or something, I kind of like approaching the D by step, da ba 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 ba, rather than going ba ba ba. It just sounds a wee bit stuttery to me on the whistle, just an aesthetic thing. So I never tend to play repeated Ds on the whistle. You know, I never do like a lot of I suppose the tonguing that you would have in the whistle. I find it over the top a lot of the time, you know, using the tongue. You don't really need to. When you're going up to full speed, it's even harder to do. It sounds great if you're, you know, an accomplished whistle player, one of the sort of amazing whistle players who can do it up to full speed. You know, if you're in like Fluke or something, you know, or Mary Bergen or something, you know, somebody who knows how to really play the whistle well, they can easily do it up to full speed. I can't. So because of that, I tend to sort of approach the Ds just by step, rather than doing ba ba bam. 2 in a row is okay. 3 in a row is probably not. I'd be more sort of uilleann pipe the way I'd approach it and do, you know, maybe like a roll or something on the D. Da da ba da ba 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 bam. Do 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 dum. Yeah, ba ba bum. Da da dum. Stepwise here as well. I don't like stop. And see that stop, da 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 da, stop, da 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 da, stop, da 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 da. Yeah, I just wanted to flow a wee bit more. Having too many crotchets at the same place at the start of each bar like that can get a wee bit, you know, tiresome, and also harder to sort of keep in time. Da da dum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum bum bum. Yeah, but the longer note there. Okay, I can get rid of the rest of this. Great wee tune, Father Kelly's. Very famous session tune. Okay, let's add in the title. You know, I have no idea if anyone wrote this. If it's just anonymous. Let me just check. Da, 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 da. Father Kelly's. Oops. Kelly's Reel. By Father Kelly, funnily enough. Did he write the Christmas Day Reel? I did not know that. Same composer. It's a great tune. If it ever opens. There we go. Not the Christmas tune I know. Okay, I don't know that one. I thought it was a different. I'm maybe thinking of a different Christmas reel, Christmas Day. Maybe it's just a different. Yeah. Okay. The Turning, yeah, it's a good one too. Christmas Day, Jake. I don't know that either. Well, there you go. Radio. Well, we'll put it in anyway. No, oh, not the lyricist. No. Try that again. Composer. Let's save as Father Kelly's reel to the desktop. Okay, so these are the three tunes we're going to do. Yeah, we've got Made Behind the Bar, we've got The Mountain Road, and we've got Father Kelly's. So the three really standard session tunes. So I'm going to record them on whistle, then, record backing tracks on the bouzouki, delve into them a little bit. And then if there's time left over, we'll get stuck into some of the Alan Murray stuff. That's going to take me a while. Some of you guys already see me go through some of the stuff for that. So why is this? Oh, you know what? Just put it in there for now. I'm just going to create a PDF for it. Let me see. Export. Yeah. It should be down here now. There it is. Okay. Let's get some tunes going. I'm just going to activate Tin Whistle. Okay. Just double check to make sure that it actually is still working. Testing 1, 2. Looks like it. I might have to turn it up even. Okay, let me just see how loud this is. I'll do like a dry run and then record it. I'm going to bring up the audio that I'm going to use. Now this will be what's going to be inside the app. I'll see if we can actually play along with the app to see if this is any good. Let me see, reel in D. Am I going to be in time with myself? Let's see, am I even in time with myself? If not, I'll just do it the normal way that we did it before. That sounds okay to me. If it doesn't for you guys, do let me know in the comments. As usual, you are my guinea pigs for a lot of this stuff. But that sounds like it's in time for me. Maybe I'm a little bit quiet. Which we can remedy if I just bring up bippity boppity boo. Okay, let me see if I just increase Tin Whistle by a couple of decibels, get that up to 9. Testing 1, 2. Okay, let's try it again, and then we will record it. Get out of the way. And get out of the way, don't need you open anymore. you know what? Let's do rhythm only. No, let's do this. One, two, three, four. Okay, let's see how that took. Okay, that seems to be working all right. Okay, so this is going to be what I'm hoping the app will turn into eventually with students, is being able to obviously play it at a slower speed than this. At the moment, it's 105 beats per minute. You can obviously, I'm going to be recording that down to like 90 or 92 or something, and then probably even slower down to like 80 or something. So it gives students like a bit more time, but I'm just keeping it at 105 because that's my comfortable speed. I'll probably try even one faster, like at 115 or 20, or even just to see if we can get it up to like session speed, like a really lively sort of session. For some tunes it's okay, for others it's a wee bit tricky, depending on the breathing and fingering and stuff. So we'll see if we can do like any faster than that. I'll try. So at the moment there's only the three, jig, reel and slip jig, but we'll see if we can get the others. Okay, so what I might do then is just have that as rhythm only just for a sec. Actually, it sounded okay. It's D. Yeah, I'll see if I can record tin whistle. Let me just come out of this a wee sec and whistle. Let's just let me see if I just try something different. That's the jig. Let's go back to reel. was one in G. Or D. Let's try one in G, actually. Same thing, we'll just do the real. I'm just going to test this out myself just to make sure that they work. Father Kelly's. Let's try and record it. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. That's not bad considering I haven't played that shit in about 10 years. That sounds like it. But yeah, there's quite a bit there that I'm still having to go back over. But it's good for me, you know, to go through these older tunes again, like the tunes that I would have started off maybe learning the pipes or, you know, on the whistle. So yeah, that's Father Kelly's. Just going to go back to normal audio here. So I can actually hear. It's hard to hear. There we go. I can actually hear myself now. So I'm hoping that actually sounded okay for, well, okay-ish for you guys, because I'm not able to hear the whistle. So it may be overblowing and sounding quite sharp. But let's actually hear it. It should be recorded. Oh, I've recorded as videos, of course. Well, let's go back in time and see if we can hear. It's not bad considering I played that. It's not bad. I'm overblowing it a little, especially on the low D, but it's not bad. You have to remember the wee shush whistles that you literally just breathe into the instrument. Like these little shush whistles, guys, they are class for recording. I've got these ones and I've got the wild whistles. The two of them are perfect for like recording studio work. This is just for nice and quiet, so don't bother everybody, in the house and, neighbors and stuff. But if I was out in a session, I would need a wild whistle because you wouldn't hear these very much. So these are great for practicing and recording, and the wild are great for recording as well. But I wanted us to be able to, have it blend with the recording, and then we're going to add some bouzouki, which will be louder. Okay, so let's go back. Is there any way I could get the audio out of those things? Well, yeah, let's record some audio then, just pure audio. Yeah. So I've got the video. Let's just record the audio because I need something to hear when I'm practicing along with the bouzouki. So if we just go back into tin whistle, I can't hear myself anymore. Apologies if I shout when I go over to this whistle, guys, because it's all very different, all the effects and everything, so I can't really hear myself very well. Although this is better for the whistle, the recording. It's not for voice though. Okay, so if I can just close this one down, and yeah, let's just try Father Kelly's again. It lasts about 10 minutes, but I don't want to get to the end of it. Yeah. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 2 2. There I am. Here we go. back to D for a sec. Testing 1 2 1 2. Okay, that's enough. Radio. Okay, so that should be enough for me to practice along with if I just go into these little audio files. So we're going to swap over to the bouzouki in a minute. Let's not do anything too hasty. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, back into ordinary audio. So what I'm going to do is, I think that was the last one, which is the one in D. Okay, so this should be the mountain road. And I've spelled that completely wrong. I can't see. I have to increase the size of everything. Yeah, I can't. Look at that. Okay. Yeah. Try that again. The mountain road in D. There we go. This one then was Father Kelly's in G. Yeah, I think I prefer like the Mountain Road one. I know there's the Maid Behind the Bar there, but I think the Mountain Road one is actually better. I can't spell anything tonight at all, guys. Can't talk either. So let's just see if I can open this in Vision and just take out all the guff. It's basically all this stuff. Make sure. Testing 1 2. What's this? 3 4. Okay, how many times did I play this? My goodness. Let's just take out all the stuff before and all the stuff after. Okay. I probably don't even need that. Let's have a little fade out. Fade out. That'll do. Yeah, I probably don't need all that at the start either. That'll do. File save. Okay, that's Father Kelly's. Let's do the same thing for what's his face? Mountain Road. That big breath at the start. Get rid of all this. Whoa, how many times did I play this? There's probably a few mistakes in that, but we'll find them as we go through them. Fade out. That'll do. Okay, so that should be those two files good to go. Now, if I was to try and accompany myself in this, let me see. Be the best way to do it. Well, I'm doing it at the same speed, so let me see. I'll do the one in G. Whoa. Is that really sharp, or is it just, yeah, I think I may have recorded that quite sharpish. Let me just put this in, because I was trying to tune my bouzouki to that, and it sounded flat to me, even though the bouzouki was saying I was in G. Okay, I'm just going to push, maybe just move it down. Yeah, that's what happens, you see, when you're... I have to figure out a way of doing this so I can actually hear my audio. When I try to reroute it through my headphones, it's like delayed by... It's only a split second delay, but it's enough to put you off, you know, when you're supposed to be playing along at a tempo. So let me just tune this properly, and then I'll tune that. Apologies, guys. I will get there. According to my tuner, that I am in tune. So what I'm doing here as well is just adding the capo onto the 5th fret just to show you the tuning. Maybe that's a bit... No, according to them, getting the blue light. Okay, let's bring in Father Kelly's, and let's have the ability to do, excuse me, fine adjust pitch, yeah, just so we can hear. I'm just gonna call this one tuned. So this is Father Kelly's tuned. Minus a 1/10 of a semitone. That's enough, believe it or not, to make a difference. And so it doesn't sound as grating. If I need to put it down any further, I will. Mr. God. Yeah, it needs to be... Turned up on my, yeah, I was gonna turn this up on my side just to see, and then of course I'll record proper audio together. So if I just show you guys what I do here, or practice along with me, if I go into what's the best way of doing this? I think if I go into this, look back, and if I go into computer audio, I want to turn the whistle up, but not deafened, so you guys, it sounds too loud for you. It should be in here somewhere, the program that I'm using. It's here. Yeah. Yeah, it still needs to come down a wee bit more, I think. It's going to put it in back into, let me see, pitch switch here, and just bring it down even further. So just down. Yeah, maybe 0.3. Let me hear that. Okay, gonna save that now as Father Kelly's tuned. Yeah, set as 0.2. It's just that every I hit this top, bam, it's not in tune with the da 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 bum. And every single time it's out, so it's not going to work if I try to record that for students. So let me just bring that up now. Okay. We finally got the right tuning. Let's see if I can make it louder, because at the moment my bouzouki sounds really, really loud. I'm just going to check to see where are we here in terms of loudness. Just yeah. Wow, that is loud. Okay, I need to take the bouzouki down. Okay, let me see. We need a little bit, but enough. Let me just have a look, see at the. Where is that? Okay, we're getting there. We will get there. Okay, there's a little idea there that it's not coming out exactly very well, but it's na, na, na. Oops. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. Da, da, da 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 dum. So like G over D. Da 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 dum. D sus4. Da 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 dum. And back to G5. Da 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 dum. So you can do, yeah. There's loads of ways of doing that, so the first way that that's like a descending sequence that we have in music, you know, where you have the same idea. That little idea. Just play it getting lower. And just play that getting lower. That's the ending of it. My god, okay, there's about 10 ways of doing that. That's how you can always tell like a really sort of standard great tune for sessions. So you can do just your bum. So each individual strum for each string. Ba da dum, C D G. GBD. Or even all hammer-ons if you want. Or even do it an octave higher. Another one. It's endless. There's so many ways of doing that. Just anything to do with those two frets, actually, the second and fourth, all the way up, and even involving the fifth above the capo as well. So everything goes out of tune so easily now. Okay. Yeah, definitely warming up. So let's see. If I could play along with that. Okay. It's loads of ideas. It's bewildering how many different ones to come up with there, but that's that. Usually you're sort of thinking, well, what can I come up with there? But the problem with this tune, I find, is that there's so many ideas. Which one to choose? I'm trying to find the best one, like, because there's about 30 or 40 different things there. Okay, let's try and restrict ourselves to just... Okay, it's this... Da 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 dum. Okay, so we put this file now into the one that's been tuned. If we open him up in Vision and to see if we can get a repeat going. Is that my first breath? That's way too... I should have taken a breath way before then. That's way too much. So it sounds a wee bit breathy. Yeah, I need another breath here to make up for it. Another big breath. Okay, so from about there. If I put that as there, will that repeat? Try that again. Just a wee bit early, so I might just make it a smidgen later here. Yeah, just cut it a wee bit too fine. There we go. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe that's too much. That'll do. Okay. Okay. Another wee idea that I kind of begin to like here. Yeah, so a lot of this I am beginning to do with this tune, which is on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th fret on that 3rd course, hammering up into the 5th fret, and then into that 2nd course. And then on that 2nd course, hammering up into that 2nd fret, and then into the 1st course, and maybe even Okay, so again, not to sort of restrict what I'm trying to experiment here with, you can see why it's called practice with me, because I am still practicing a lot of the accompaniment to this. Okay, let's see if we can, take this idea and go even further. If I just now come out of that for a sec. That's this one. Let me see if I put this into pitch. Now I've tuned this down 2/10 of a cent or 2/10 of a semitone, 5th, and then I'm just going to put this down into 86. I usually hit that about 86%. do. Now let's save it as what it was before, but what slowed down. So it's still Father Kelly's. It's still tuned down. Cents, but now for speed it's 86 slow. So we'll just call it slow. You can see why this is such a great wee app, this little pitch switch, because you can slow everything down. You can change the key or the tuning of it, and then you can take it into something like Vision and just repeat that opening as many times as you like, because it's the same thing that I've recorded, you know, like 5 times in a row there. So I should be able just to there we go. Okay, I think I've got an idea for about 10 different tune accompaniments to this. I'll have to choose the nicest ones I can find now. see if we can record this. This is the wrong one. Try this again. Yeah. Okay, I think that's the beginning of it. I'm just going to try and get that down. My goodness, just too many things. Have to find the best one. dun, dun. That's the chord I'm looking for there. Okay, so let me get this right. It's dun. That should be a G5, I think. The second half, I'm trying not to repeat anything from the first part, and there's so many. It's hard to even remember. That's the problem that I'm having with it. It's just that there's about 30 different things that I'm coming up with all at once. I wasn't expecting it to be this fruitful, to have so many possible things to do. It's actually bewildering. Shows you how long it's been since I played something just an ordinary G session tune. I'm so used to having to work things out in weird keys. It's really nice just to play something in G. It's been a while. Okay, so I think I'm starting off here. I'm going down another fork in the road here. Do I do this? Do I do that? Do this? Kind of like that now, or even. So which is it going to be? Is it going to be, or is it going to be, or is it going to be? Or even yeah. No, that doesn't sound right. That's a nice idea, but not there. Da 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 dum. I'd need to use that if I'm approaching it from a lower. Because the moment I'm starting off here. Dum. I'm trying to get to this chord. It's about, because it's right next door. It's G. You know, it's, well, it's the equivalent of whoops, a C major chord, da dum dum, to D sus4, C to D sus4, and so many ways to do that. Like I can't, I mean, we've lost count of how many different variations of this we've come up with. Yeah, maybe even simplicity itself. I know what the next section is, which is the standard descending with a bit of syncopation. And just continue that on down. Dum 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 dum. Okay, so that's all standard, but it's that's what's tripping me up, is the part to get from. I'm just trying to find what is the best way. There's loads of ways of doing it, but which one do I prefer the most? Hmm. Wow, okay. I was not expecting to have so many ideas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go away and come up with about, oh my God, about 3 versions of this one tune. I did recorded 2 tunes thinking, I'll come up with some chord progressions for this. But believe it or not, this has actually been probably, I'd say, one of the most bewildering practice sessions that I've had in a while, because it's such a small part of this tune, just the beginning of that little, section in here. Right in there. Just the da 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 dum, la da 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 dum. I'll have to stop because otherwise I'll be here all night. And I want to give you guys the finished thing, but it's just to show you. That's what these sessions are all about. Practice with me. It's just to show you how I'm coming up with stuff. But with this one, it's just there's so many ideas that work with it. Nearly any idea that I can come up with, like there's only the slightest little tweaks here and there just to change it a little bit, maybe move a note around here and there. But the main thing is when you're doing any of these sort of improvisations or coming up with any sort of counter melodies, you must have a framework. You must know where the next chord is going to be. So the chords in this that's probably why it's so fruitful, is that the chords in this are dead simple, really simple Father Kelly's. G da 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 da. C ba 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 ba. D sus4 or just D5. So the same three chords repeated for the and any of you guys who've seen my other videos and all the other tunes that I've recorded, and that is super rare, you know, to get a reel that is just the same three chords for an entire A section. Super rare. I mean, I even tried to add in a few times an E minor, but it didn't really work. The tune wouldn't allow you. Maybe there. Even more ideas now. Well, if you left it out. Yeah, and every single version of those chords as well as possible. So instead of just doing the G there, you could do the G inverted there, or you could do the G. So all the variations of the chords themselves can be used. So not only do you have three of the three primary chords, chord 1, 4, and 5, your G5, your C, and your D5, but every single one of those chords can be used in several different ways. So it's the most simplistic, basic, fundamental harmony for the tune. And all the chords can be swapped around, and all the patterns to get from one chord to the other, all of them seem to work, you know, from D, and you can put in your entire da 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 dum just to get between those chords, or even that, or even that, or, you know, also even the chords can be approached by passing chords. I'm used to doing that just with notes, you know, just with going up that sort of way. You know, that sort of thing. Da 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 dum ba 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 bum, or yeah, that's the sort of standard that I usually have with tunes, is that I have the chords, then I approach them through passing notes, or, you know, little non-harmony notes, little ideas to weave from one chord to the other. But when you can actually move from one chord to the other with about 3 or 4 other chords, you know, that, and each one of those can be decorated as well. It's just, it's so many. I'm really glad I chose that tune now, but I have to come up with maybe 2 or 3 videos for it, because I don't think one video, or maybe you have to just play it through like 5 times or something, and then all the different, oh my God, it's going to be it's hard enough doing it once or twice through, you know, let alone 5 times. It's almost a warm-up exercise in itself. Again, the old strumming seems to work with it. just making stuff up now, not even have to think about it. See if we can just do back and forth. Doesn't get much more simple like than just bum bum dum dum, and then just figuring out little ways in between those two. Got everything around that. There's an entire tune in there. It's in itself. That is, it's even another thing. Oh God, it's going to take me weeks. Father Kelly's. I might just come up with like a simplistic version of it, to be honest, because there's just so many, and then we'll come back to it because we could be here for a month just doing this one tune. But there's a lot of good principles in it. Like, you know, this ideally should have been a lesson, I think. Looking back on, wish I'd have done this now for the course. I'll include it in the course. Maybe I'll, like, over the summer, I'll make a couple of lessons just from this one tune. There's enough in it for at least 2 or 3 lessons. Like, the idea of 1 5 1 5 1 between the third and second courses, bum 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 bum, and alternating that with your hammer-ons, that can create an entire counter melody in itself. From there, that dum 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 dum. Yeah, that's a whole lesson. Just doing like all the possibilities between those, and then there's the whole thing of moving chords, passing chords between one main chord and another chord. How do you get from one to the other? As Phoebe said in Friends once, can you play G? Can you play C? Can you play from G to C? Well, in the bouzouki, there's about 10 different ways of doing that. I can't stop. that's it. Okay. That's enough. I think that'll be enough for tonight. I'll figure out how to put all of that into Father Kelly's, guys. There was about 20 or 30 things there that we finally ended up with. We started probably off of about 50, so at least we're halfway to cutting through all the chaff anyway. So there's a lot to that one. It may take me a week or two to get this video done because, my goodness, I was expecting to get twice as many tunes done, even 3 times. I even had a third in reserve there in the made behind the bar just in case we got through the other 2 too quickly. Didn't even get into the second one. So we'll leave that for another time as well. Yeah, these are your standard session tunes that we'll be going over as well. So we're going to be like deep diving every so often into the Alan Murray stuff as well, and you know, just coming back up for a breather into the more sort of standard session stuff and see can we come up with stuff. But my goodness, that was a lot. Okay, so if you manage to get through, there's no one who's going to manage to get through this, because there's just too much. There's far too much. There was enough there for about 3-4 streams, so I'll split it up and organize it properly. You know, maybe even just into 2 videos or something, and just keep the other stuff for later. Okay, so we'll leave it there, guys, and give everyone a breather from it. Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't realize anyone was actually watching this live. Kevin Sullivan, sorry. This is fantastic. Thanks. Yeah, thanks very much, guys. I only put this in like the odd time, just check the comments. But you're more than welcome to ask questions if I manage to see it. If I'm not completely lost and trying to figure out how to get from one chord to another. You're more than welcome to join in and ask questions. You know, that's what it's all about. So I do these lives, guys, primarily as a way of showing you guys how I learn tunes. All these things will eventually make their way into like social media, you know, either Instagram or little shorts, little reels. So it takes a lot of work, and I thought, rather than just showing people the finished product, I wanted to show you guys how the sausage is made. Like, how do I anyway come up with my ideas? Although I must admit tonight was a bit crazy because there's just so many ideas. I didn't know where to stop. I didn't even know where to begin, really. It was just like, thought, oh, this is lovely, and gee, I'll just go from here to here. Oh, that can do this, and that can do that, and that, and that. And then before you knew it, I was down a rabbit hole. So I'll do it better. I'll organize it better so we're not just, you know, blazing through like 50 different things in one stream. You're more than welcome to rewatch it, guys. It'll be up forever, but I don't think anyone's going to get this far. If you're still this far in the video, what's wrong with you? Like, go out and touch grass. Yeah. So I shall leave it there, guys. And tomorrow night is going to be a good one, I think. I'll show you guys what tomorrow night's Ask Me Anything. One of my students was asking that how do you hear the difference between Dorian and Aeolian? It's actually one of the whistle guys. So I've gone through the book that we use, 100 Essential, and I pulled out all the tunes in that book that are E and A Dorian, and all the ones that are E and B Aeolian, and they're not that many, as you can see. So we're gonna discuss that tomorrow night, guys. How do you, as like a bouzouki player or as a guitar player, how do you hear that you're in Dorian or the Aeolian mode without relying, just on, well, we're in a minor key? You're not. There's about 4 different things there. Could it be E or B Aeolian, or E or A Dorian? So those are 4 separate keys. How do you know which one? You should hopefully be able to hear at least the tonic of, or the starting note of each. But that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow night, is delving into that. Okay, so Ask Me Anything is going to start off with that. And if there's any other questions you guys have about anything musical, it's not just the trad stuff. Like I say, this was from a whistle student, this one, but I've had loads of queries about chords and harmony and jazz stuff and jazz chords and everything. So I do make little blog posts for those as well, and little articles on my website. So it's completely based on whatever you guys ask. Okay, so if you want to know more about music history or music theory, or how to hear stuff, improve your musicianship and listening skills, yeah, we can do that as well. So whatever you guys prefer, but this is the one that we're doing tomorrow night, is listening skills. How do you hear? What's the difference really between Dorian and Aeolian? What are those, and how do you hear the difference? So when you're in a session, you just know when someone goes into like a E Dorian or something, or A Dorian or B Aeolian, that you can just immediately snap into it without having to figure it out or listen or ask somebody around you. Okay, so that's going to be tomorrow's topic. I'll turn that into a blog post as well. Right, I'm waiting to get something to eat. Maybe a stiff drink. And I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow night. And if not, it'll be next week again, when hopefully Father Kelly's has calmed down a bit and we've got something we can work on easily. So see you next week, guys.